Good morning everyone, welcome back to my drawback chess speedrun, where one game worth 100 points of elo. Of course I decided that myself. Last week we narrowly crossed the 200 rated checkpoint. So this week, 200 plus 100 equals 300. We put in 300 in the rating section. Let's go. Lethal attraction. You can't make moves that place the moving piece farther away from your opponent's king than it started. Dude. That sounds so dead. Reveal drawback to opponent. F4. Knight F6. Okay, I'm actually not that mad about the drawback itself, but instead I'm very worried about the calculating system on this website. If you are a long-time viewer on my channel, you would know that I usually use the Pythagorean theorem to calculate the distance between the pieces. It is called the Euclidean distance. But this website doesn't use that system. They are using another method to calculate the distance. It is called the Manhattan distance. For example, my knight on g8 was 2 plus 7 equals 9 squares away from his king, and my knight on f6 is 1 plus 5 equals 6 away from his king. So knight f6 is coming closer to his king. g3. d5. I guess some people may say that this method is much easier than the entire square root Pythagorean theorem. Well, yes. But for an Asian like myself, calculating square roots isn't that much different from adding two integers. So I personally don't feel this method is easier at all. It's just weird. Bishop h3. I'll take that. Knight takes h3. h6. Preventing knight g5. Now if that knight wants to go out, he has to take the other way around. Ha! And he even takes away his knight's only square to get active. What an unpaid actor. e6. e4. d takes e4. d takes e4. Knight takes e. Oh wait. Aha. He is obviously baiting me to take his pawn, and then he can take my queen, which I actually cannot take back because my king is also considered as a piece. And I cannot move my pieces farther away from his king. That is very sneaky. I have to take his queen first. King takes d1. Now I can take his pawn. My knight cannot retreat though. But it's alright. We can always defend it with a pawn. Knight c3. I can take that. It is really weird though. Normally I would have gone rook d1 here. It's like the most natural thing to do. Why did he choose to double his pawn instead though? B takes c3. Knight c6. I should be able to castle. I don't see why not. Bishop e3. Castle. King e2. Bishop e7. Bishop takes a7. Wow. Okay, this guy is trying to make use of my reveal drawback. I cannot take his bishop because it moves my knight farther away from his king. Very nice. I actually didn't even see that. b6. It's funny that now he can actually go bishop b8 back and forth and still there is nothing I can do about it. Knight f2. Bishop f6. Knight e5, rook lift g4, rook over g5, pawn takes bishop e5 h4. Here we go. f5. f5 actually allows my opponent to have a passed pawn, but I really need to kick this knight away from e4. It is controlling too many important squares. The trade-off should be totally worth it. Knight f2. Rook d2 check. King f3. I'll take this pawn. I have to be careful though. Every time I move closer to his king, I get myself even further restricted by my own drawback. Need to consider every move I make can be the very last move that piece can ever make. h4. His king is dying and he is moving a pawn, absolutely amazing. Knight e5 check. King f4. That blunders are horsey. Maybe his drawback has something to do with he cannot move his rooks, or maybe the drawback itself is not moving rooks, but if that is the case, his playstyle doesn't make any sense, because he has been consistently offering trades from the very beginning while literally being down 10 points of materials. I guess we'll have to wait until after the game for confirmation. And that ended a lot more quickly than expected. Bishop takes the king. For real. Your opponent's drawback was tower defense. You can't move rooks. If you lose all your rooks, you lose. So this guy's just bad at planning. Drawback chess speedrun. 400% win rate.